You know, we got to just focus on the things that we need to do well. We definitely have to play defense, execute, and share the basketball. So if we can do those things, we feel good about ourselves.
I think the biggest thing is I hopefully took away that we need to get a lot better. So these last couple days in practice, we've been a lot better than we were in the practices leading up for Mater Day. We got to have way more attention to detail. We got to play a lot harder and a lot tougher. Otherwise, it could be a long night for us.
Pacific Surfliner presents the CIF Southern Section Ford Boys Basketball Championship. Features the Corona Centennial Huskies against the Trailblazers of Sierra Canyon. Hello everybody, my name is Randy Rosenblum, set to call the play-by-play. This is the Professor, and we have a big one tonight. All the marbles are on the line. The winner goes to the CIF Open Division Championship. Both the Trailblazers and the Huskies have won 26 games this year.
Well, Sierra Canyon has been the team with the bullseye on their back the whole season. The preseason #1 is just one win away from where they want to be. But this Centennial team poses a difficult challenge for Sierra Canyon. They're very similar in style and size to a St. John Bosco team that gave Sierra Canyon all they wanted in the last game before the Trailblazers won by 3.
The Huskies have a terrific all-around player in Jalen Clark. He can really light it up.
Oh, he is a terrific all-around player. He does everything that you want a player to do. He's an excellent passer. He's got a great handle. He's a superb rebounder for his size, and he's the second leading scorer on the team. But Josh Giles told me that scoring is the 4th best thing that he does.
Do you like dunks? Well, we got a pretty good dunker in KJ Martin of Sierra. He is outstanding for Sierra Canyon for the Trailblazers. He has at least 2 or 3 dunks every night.
Yeah, he is a spectacular player at times, but he's gotten better at everything this year, including low post moves. He's a better defender. He's a terrific passer out of the double team. KJ's game has really rounded itself out nicely this year.
It's the Huskies and the Trailblazers, a berth of the CIF Open Division Championship at stake. That's next on KDOC.
President's Day, there's big news at Nissan now. No brand received more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan. That means that people love their new Nissans. So we're thanking you with big savings on our lineup, including Rogue with Pro Pilot Assist.
Get a low $239 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 14 models.
Get to Nissan now, before these offers are yesterday's news.
Yeah, I've seen a lot out here in the West. But a juicy charbroiled burger with a patty made from plants? Only the folks at Carl's Jr. can pull out something that bold. All the legendary flavor, none of the meat. When the wagon of change comes, you ride along with it. The new Beyond Famous Star with cheese, only at Carl's Jr., where the food is the star.
Your story begins the moment you enroll at Concord Career College to become a medical office administrator. In as few as 8 months, you will be ready to begin an exciting profession that is as fulfilling as it is challenging. You'll have a rewarding career with a bright future, giving you an immense sense of accomplishment. Opportunity awaits. Enroll at Concord Career College today by visiting us online at concord.edu. Your story starts now.
Right here, Dad.
The Infiniti QX60. Impressive performance and seating for 7.
Infiniti, empower the drive.
The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Nobody does dogs like Wiener Schnitzel. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. And tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel.
For Centennial, Jalen Clark, DJ Davis, Dennis Cash, Paris Dawson, and Alan McBride start for Josh Giles in his 16th year, while for Sierra Canyon, the usual suspects, Scottie Pippen Jr., Cassius Stanley, KJ Martin, Amari Bailey, the fantastic freshman, and Christian Coloco. The 7-footer round out the starting lineup for Andre Chevalier in his second year.
We expect an up-tempo affair.
Yeah, these teams want to get up and go. Tons of athleticism on both sides and quick shots. I watched Centennial against Mater Dei the other night. I don't think they took more than 10 seconds to shoot at most of their possessions.
Ball controlled by Sierra Canyon and Pippin. Pippin thought about the three. Frank on the baseline. Taryn Frank.
So Frank in the lineup in place of Amari Bailey to start. Gives him a little more size, a little more rebounding ability up front.
Paris Dawson with the ball. Paris Dawson connects.
Centennial will press all night long. They'll adjust that from a 2-1-2 to a man-to-man press, and they get their first steal.
The takeaway by Dennis Cash. And a second opportunity. They'll fire. That one off the iron by Dawson.
But that's the way they like to play. The first guy that gets an open look, with the exception of Cash, will take it.
Cassius Stanley with the easy one.
Not very good transition defense by Centennial that time after the quick shot. They just didn't get back, and Stanley in close like that will kill you.
DJ Davis rejected brilliantly by Pippin. Frank with a nice pass, and there's the first dunk for KJ Martin, the 6'7" junior.
What a pretty pass, though, from Taryn Frank. He drove the baseline, drew the double team, and found the slashing Martin.
Clark is hand-checked and fouled.
Take a look at some of the keys to the game. First, let's start with Centennial. Don't forget Paris. You remember that film with Billy Crystal, Forget Paris? Well, don't forget him, because he's one of their leading scorers and he only got 10 shots in the loss to Mater Dei. Cash advance. He's the only low post presence that Centennial has. He has to stay on the floor. That's Dennis Cash.
They'll retool the offense. Another opportunity for the Huskies.
The third key for Centennial, get this party started. You can't have a really good party without a DJ, and they're going to need DJ Davis tonight, their outstanding shooting guard, number 4. He was just 4 of 19 against Mater Dei.
Early on, the shot's not falling for Corona Centennial. Frank pulls up for 3.
And
you can see it's a very quick Husky team.
Yeah, Centennial let him have that one all night long until he makes a couple.
Clark on the baseline. Couldn't get around Martin.
Well, that's a tough shot so far for Sierra Canyon. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's Amari. That's Amari Bailey, the outstanding freshman. When he comes in and he's a game changer, go small or go home. St. John Bosco with that small, very similar lineup to Centennial, gave Sierra Canyon fits in the second half. That was a one-possession game late before Sierra Canyon prevailed. And everybody likes free stuff. Well, except for Sierra Canyon, they don't seem to like free throws. Against St. John Bosco, they were just 18 of 31 from the line. They let the Braves hang around longer than maybe they should have.
Pippin's 3-ball fails, and Dennis Cash, a good rebounder for Corona Centennial, clear. Amari Bailey, the outstanding freshman, has entered for Taryn Frank for the Trailblazers.
He's a little better matchup on the perimeter as far as defending against DJ Davis, who's got as quick a trigger as you've seen maybe since LaMelo Ball.
Cash and the Huskies just not close with their shots. Bailey with the reverse. Yeah, this Husky team plays at a furious pace.
That they do.
That one rattled in and out for Jalen Clark.
And those are the kind of shots Centennial must make. They come early and in transition. A clean look that time for Clark, and the rim just wouldn't have it. Take a look here as Martin tries to elevate in traffic. He's very good absorbing contact. They're going to say out of bounds to Sierra Canyon.
Trailblazers work it to Martin, who hits the 3-ball for KJ Martin.
Oh, if he's making those, he's almost impossible to guard because he'll put it on the deck and then drive past you for one of those emphatic dunks.
Huskies other than the first shot made by Paris Dawson, have not been close with their attempts. That's a nice move and a score for Jalen Clark.
He is as good an athlete as any in the Southland, but quickly down the other way is Coloco.
Second dunk of the opening quarter. K.J. Martin had the earlier one for Sierra Canyon.
That cannot make Josh Giles, the coach of Centennial, very happy. After a made basket, the 7-footer beat him down the floor.
A Pippen steal and goal. Timeout on the floor, 13-4 for Sierra Canyon. 30-second timeout. They look brilliant on the open court. Do the Trailblazers. Coloco brilliant in this opening quarter.
It's the Honda President's Day sales event, and it's your chance to get a new Honda vehicle that can pack all of life's best adventures. Yep, time to start checking off that bucket list. Selfies over at Niagara Falls? Check. Gateway Arch? Check. Being awarded by KBB.com as 2018's best overall brand? Check. So pop into your Honda dealer today for great deals on some of our most popular vehicles at the Honda President's Day sales event.
My money should work as hard as I do. So I use my Freedom Unlimited card to buy all the latest tech stuff. Today, I'm earning on a charger.
So just the charger then?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Earn 1.5% cash back on everything you buy with Freedom Unlimited. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Professor early on, Sierra Canyon doing some great stuff on the opening court, and Centennial shots just not falling.
No, they're not. The pace is where I think the Huskies would like it, but Sierra Canyon's efficiency has been light years better. They've gotten down the floor a couple of times for easy ones, and then in the half court they've executed brilliantly. Centennial, meanwhile, if you're looking at home and you're going, well, they're taking some bad shots. No, this is how Centennial plays. They rush the ball down the floor, and the first guy that gets an open look is allowed to take it. Everybody's got the green light except for number 5, Dennis Cash, who basically won't stray from the lane. They just need to hit a couple, and I think they'll relax a little bit.
Sierra Canyon 2-0 in the playoffs, 75-72 over St. John Bosco, and 71-61 over Mater Dei. Florida Centennial is 1-1, but they still could win this pool and get to the finals. The winner of this game will be playing for the CIF Open Division title. Eternal taken by Amari Bailey. Stanley with a great look, and the second throwdown from Martin, and a foul.
They're so much bigger, longer, stronger on the baseline that if you allow him to catch it there, he doesn't even have to put it on the deck. It's one long step, elevate, slam, go to the line. Dad's got to be happy about the start for KJ Martin, and Josh Giles wants another timeout.
Alan McBride. 15-4, Sierra Canyon looking outstanding early on.
Well, 3 dunks, a couple of easy ones. Very difficult for Sierra Canyon to miss those kinds of shots. Tomorrow, though, ACC action continues. Number 8, North Carolina on the road at Wake Forest. And if you think one of the bottom feeders, Wake Forest, can't beat North Carolina, last week, another bottom feeder, Miami, took North Carolina all the way to overtime before the Tar Heels prevailed. And then Notre Dame and Virginia, you've got another basically have-not against a have. But Virginia, the way they play, they keep you close. And Notre Dame, despite losing Rex Pfluger early in the season, their senior star, Notre Dame plays everybody tough. So those will be, I bet you those will be closer than everybody expects. That's tomorrow, 9 and 11 on KDOC.
Sierra Canyon is 26-3, and they might be the most entertaining team in America to watch. The way they dunk the ball, the way they get out on the break. And Florida Centennial is as quick as anyone in Southern California, but it does not slow down the way Sierra Canyon plays and how they play above the rim.
Yeah, their athleticism is maybe unparalleled, with the exception of Rancho Christian with the Mobleys. It's difficult if you allow Sierra Canyon to get into the open court, you better have good transition defensively. You better have floor balance, because if they get ahead of you, if they get numbers, forget about it. It's going to be a dunk. Centennial's going to have to, they're going to have to outscore Sierra Canyon. I'm not 100% sure that the Huskies, with that lack of size, is going to be able to stop Sierra Canyon from doing what they want to do. But if Centennial can make enough threes, they can hang with the, what I think heavily favored Trailblazers tonight. But the three ball is the great equalizer. Let's see if Centennial slows down just a little bit and gets a little better looks this trip.
Martin has 8 of the Trailblazers' 16. That's a great move by McBride inside.
He is really, really talented at every aspect of the game. The 3-year starter, really smart guy. Being looked at by some of the really academic athletic schools.
Cassius Stanley is so smooth.
That's dangerous. You got to play off him because he'll blow by you and embarrass you. So you let him have those first couple of outside shots, but if he makes them, it's going to be a long night.
Davis going to McBride. Again, DJ Davis can fill it up. Number 4 with the ball, and he's fouled. Hand check. It was Andrew Austin with the penalty. L. Simpson has also entered for the Trailblazers.
Andre Chevalier going deep into his bench already here in the first quarter, and that will keep fresh legs on the perimeter players for Centennial. You won't see Clark, Davis, and Dawson leave the game for very long for Centennial.
Pippen checking back in for Cassius Stanley.
I think it's time to get number 11, Paris Dawson, another shot. He hit the first one.
Cortland Moffitt, number 3, has checked in for Corona Centennial.
Changes the game with his energy and hustle plays. Had a really good night against Bosco, 13-9 against St. John Bosco, and they needed every one.
Dawson running the point, chased by Bailey. Fouls going against Pippen. Slashing to the basket was Cortland Moffitt.
Older brother Courtney played years ago for Centennial, always a successful team, but he will take it to the basket. Coach Giles told me that he loves Cortland's energy. He's the type of guy that'll talk about diving on the floor. He'll take charges. He'll do those things that can change the game without scoring the ball.
And they need some production off the bench. That would be, at least on paper, a sizable advantage for Sierra Canyon. Another charity coming for Cortland Moffitt, 6'2" senior.
A little over 2 to play in the first. If somehow they could get this within 10 at the break, as badly as they've shot the ball in the first 8 minutes, that wouldn't be as bad as it seems.
Bailey looking inside. Karen Frank was flashing and wanted the ball. He gets it. Frank in low, layup for 2. Taryn Frank. We got a football score, 21-7 Sierra Canyon.
Huskies went to a 2-3 zone. One of the better ways to beat that is to move the basketball side to side, and that got Frank an easy one.
Davis got it back, and a jam. The throwdown by Dennis Cash.
Dennis, very dynamic athlete. He doesn't look for his own shot. Most of his points will come off rebound, putbacks, and drive where he can dunk it.
Inside, Frank free again, and Pippen found him.
That's a really good look by Pippen, but that's too easy. You should not be able to get the ball inside that easily, and Coach Giles got to be disappointed with the Husky defensive intensity thus far.
Well, they're not disappointed on the Sierra Canyon side with defense. Open look for Austin. Bailey, the 4th dunk of the quarter, and none prettier than that one from the freshman Amari Bailey.
The fantastic freshman, I think maybe the best freshman in California.
The 3 ball just not falling for DJ Davis and Corona Centennial. They got to be careful right now. They could get blown out of here. Down by 16 early. Bailey on the baseline. It'll stay with Sierra Canyon.
Good defensive play by Moffitt to poke it away. It has been as nightmarish a first quarter as Centennial possibly could have imagined. Shots not going in, and they're really not getting back on defense. The Sierra Canyon guards are picking apart the Huskies.
Final 35 seconds of the opening quarter, and another one, a soft dunk for KJ Martin.
And that comes off a sideline inbound pass. It should never be that easy to get a dunk in that particular scenario.
Waning seconds to the opening stands in Sierra Canyon. They're undefeated in this playoff pool bracket, and they have been mighty impressive here at Calabasas High School. 10 seconds left. Final opportunity for the Huskies in the quarter. The putback by McBride fails, and the quarter's over. Well. Sierra Canyon dunking. In fact, it was a dunk fest for the Trailblazers. They lead by 18.
Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Yeah, I've seen a lot out here in the West. But a juicy charbroiled burger with a patty made from plants? Only the folks at Carl's Jr. can pull off something that bold. All the legendary flavor, none of the meat. When the wagon of change comes, you ride along with it. The new Beyond Famous Star with cheese, only at Carl's Jr., where the food is the star.
We just made the stress of your commute disappear. Introducing the all-new, impossibly smart Nissan Altima with Pro Pilot Assist. It's groundbreaking tech that takes the stress out of heavy highway traffic by helping you stop and start without touching a pedal. Experience Altima at your local Nissan store.
For a limited time, get a low $239 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
That should be a phenomenal semifinal in D1, our Pacific Surfliner Saturday night game, the Eagles and the Wolverines.
No question about that. The two teams are evenly matched as far as talent, and I think both of those were in strong consideration to be open division teams, so it's not too big a surprise that they have found their way into the semis, and we've got it for you on KDOC. Should be a beauty. Santa Margarita at Harvard Westlake. You'll want to watch that one. Lots of college talent. We've got a couple of score updates from the other pool going on, and that really, it's so complicated it'll take me halftime to explain who's going to advance depending on what. But in the third quarter, Rancho Verde leads Rancho Christian 30-27, and in the third quarter, Bishop Montgomery leads Etiwanda 46-39. Both road teams in the lead.
This a neutral court affair. Clark from downtown nearly banked it in. He didn't intend to bank it either. Just the shots not falling early on for the Huskies, but they get a dunk attempt, and Clark throws it over the iron.
He saw KJ Martin coming out of his right eye, and I think that made him adjust things.
The Pippen three misses. Martin's underneath and draws the foul. KJ Martin in double figures with 10, and he's going for it inside. He is so strong, so physical around the cup.
Yeah, you see there, I mean, it's a 50-50 ball for the rebound, but he's just taller, longer, reached over the top of the guy that was trying to box him out. Sometimes you can have excellent rebounding position and box your guy out, but if he can elevate over the top of you, that's not a foul, and KJ just took it away from the Husky that was in pretty good position.
With all his natural gifts, KJ Martin, I think the greatest compliment he received from his head coach, Andre Chevalier. He said, plain and simply, he's a team performer, the ultimate team player, and you'll love to hear that about a star performer.
Well, especially when you come with that particular lineage and all the hype that comes with the fact that your dad played 15 years in the NBA. He has gotten so much better at the subtle things. He's always been a great leaper and a great finisher, but he's better at all of the other little things that'll serve him so well at the next level.
Davis offline, another Martin rebound. It's a 20-point bulge. This one's going against the Trailblazers. Offensive foul.
Got a charge on Pippen. He could not control his leap. Instead of a jump stop, he kind of leaped forward and right into the defender, and that stopped what would have been a certain dunk for Coloco.
Paul Westphal, give me an anecdote that gets Corona Centennial back into this.
Well, you know, some teams, if they fall behind by 20, they're done because they don't score fast enough. this team can score in bunches, and almost every time I've seen Centennial play this year, they've had an 8-0 or a 12-2 kind of run. Well, they need one now because this one is really getting out of hand. But I wouldn't be surprised if they can't, a couple of threes, a couple of steals, get right back into it.
Dawson not close, and give credit to Sierra Canyon. These shots are contested, although they turn it over here in transition.
Yeah, a rare. They've been so efficient. That's the best 8 minutes that I've seen Sierra Canyon play all season, and what a time to have that kind of a quarter. They were nearly perfect, but Centennial, meanwhile, even their outside shots, and this is a credit, as you mentioned, Randy, to Sierra Canyon's defense. The Trailblazers are closing out on those shooters. They're not just standing off, an arm's length away.
Davis, an air ball, and again a hand in his face. Corner jumper, Clay. Stanley got hit as he released that.
I watched him in warm-ups hit 10 in a row from that spot. So when it was on the way, I was almost going to say, well, that's going in, because he made them just from there. And, of course, had the mishap with the official, but no harm, literally no foul.
Foul goes against Sierra Canyon. Can they make a shot, these Huskies? Clark off the iron. Cash trying to control it. Stanley in transition, off the window, and cashes Stanley with another goal.
Well, he hung there a little extra second, changed the location of the ball. Oh, Coloco erases one. But Stanley changed because it was 1-on-2. So when he went up, the defense went up with him. He just moved the ball slightly to the right, hung there until the defenders fell down. Gravity took over, except for Cassius, and he finished it softly.
This is a foul. Moffitt's going to the line. Coloco thought he had a clean block.
Wow, I did too, because the only contact is with the extended arm of the offensive player, but the Huskies will take it.
Moffitt back at the line where he's 1 for 3. 31-9, the arithmetic all the side of highly regarded Sierra Canyon. For Josh Giles in his 16th year, he's anguishing on the sideline.
Yeah, these are really tough when you're a coach and you know your team is better than what they're showing. They wouldn't be 26-4 against the high-quality schedule that they played if they had nights like this. But I watched them have a half like this against Mater Dei on Tuesday night when they just couldn't buy a basket, and they fell behind big to the Monarchs, never quite recovered. They've got to get this thing, they got to cut this deficit in half. It's 21. If they could cut it to 10 or 11 at the half, maybe it wouldn't be quite so bad.
They can force turnovers like that. Cash with the takeaway. And an easy layup finally for DJ Davis, and he averages 18.5 a night.
Defense to offense, they're very good at that.
Martin, the runner on the baseline. He has been so smooth in this first half. He's been brilliant. Dawson on the reverse. The tip by Cash, no good. Another run out. Here's Pippen with the layup, and he's fouled.
Wow, and this has been really surprising to me in that Centennial is very good at getting back on defense most of the time, and they're just getting beat down the floor. This time it was Pippen who was ahead of the pack. All they could do was foul, and this has to be at least the 5th or 6th time that somebody for Sierra Canyon has beaten the entire Husky defense down the floor.
It's amazing how quickly Sierra Canyon's going from defense to offense. It's just a blink, and Andre Chevalier's team is back down the other way. He's got to be thrilled. You know, he told me he's coaching for greatness. He doesn't want his team to be good. He wants his team to be great, and so far they've been that tonight.
Well, and they've had a bullseye on their back all season long. I mean, they played a national schedule, and anytime they took on an opponent, it was that team's Super Bowl, so to speak, and so they've answered the challenge almost every night with a couple of losses to nationally ranked Montverde out in Florida, and then the one that we had on the game of the week where they lost to Rancho Christian in the end. Other than that, they have been at the head of the class.
Bailey picked up the foul. Clark trying to make something happen, and he'll go back to the line. Jalen Clark, he averages 16 points. 67% from the line.
Well, and he's saved his really good offensive games against top-notch competition. He had 33 against Sherman Oaks Notre Dame and Zaire Williams. He had 26 against Etiwanda, and 26 against Dave Kleckner is like 50 against everybody else, and then 24 against Bosco in the first round of pool play.
4:45 remaining in the half, and you're right. Corona Centennial needs a run here to try to get back into it before intermission. Bailey from downtown not close, but there's Stanley cleaning up, and a beautiful shot in the paint for Cassius Stanley.
And you just can't have that if you're Centennial. You forced a tough shot. You had a chance for the rebound. You didn't come up with it, and Stanley converts. Second chance opportunity.
That's a beautiful tip. Guiding it back in is Jalen Clark at 6'5". That was well done.
He's an excellent rebounder for 6'5".
Stanley called for a walk. Give the ball back to Corona Centennial.
Well, and now here you've got a chance. You know, you're not going to make any 15-point baskets, but you got a chance to get two hoops in a row. There hasn't been 2 hoops in a row for Centennial all night long. Let's see. It's on a little mini run here before the half.
Dawson. Big crowd to his left, so he backed it up. 15 on the shot clock. There's a nice runner from DJ Davis, starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, finally, he's such a prolific scorer.
Frank short, but he came right back to him. Ball was on a string. Stanley looking to work inside. Martin with the putback. AJ Martin has been fabulous in the opening half.
It's so demoralizing. You play great defense, you force a bad shot. First one goes right back to Frank, where he's the only guy who can get a rebound off the floor. And then the second chance opportunity in that possession goes to Stanley.
Cash, that's not his area of expertise deep. But McBride with the theft.
Oh, got to have this one.
Clark all the way. And another tip by Clark for a basket. He's working hard. They're not always falling for him, but you can't fault the effort of Jalen Clark.
No, and good judgment there. The 3-ball not working for Jalen in the first half, and he had an open 3, but he decided, instead I'm going to take it right into the chest of the shot blocker and see if I can get an easier or closer shot anyway, and they were able to convert.
Frank double team, finds Stanley. The 3-ball is an air ball taken by Dawson. Some life, some enthusiasm for the Huskies. And another basket. Getting to the goal easily was Paris Dawson. Timeout on the floor. Suddenly, the Huskies starting to believe. Still a long way to go in this basketball game. They've cut the deficit to 17.
This BMW ad is a few years old. Maybe you remember it. We're running it again because that 3 Series is now BMW certified, which is good news for every member of your family. Go on, Ace. Show them what I taught you. See? Guess you can teach an old dog in an old commercial new tricks. BMW certified. Like new, again. Hurry in for exceptional offers through BMW Financial Services.
Right now at Wiener Schnitzel, you can mix and match 5 chili dogs or corn dogs for only $5.95. Wiener Schnitzel, food worth cheering for.
On the Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week, the Santa Margarita Eagles face off against Harvard Westlake Wolverines in the CIF Southern Section Division I semifinal. The winner moves on to the Division I championship game. Tune in tomorrow at 7:30 on KDOC TV Los Angeles.
Even though the Huskies are way back, Professor Paul Westphal, we've seen some life from Corona Centennial.
Well, we finally saw some success, and that certainly will bring more energy at the other end. They were able to get a couple of steals. They were able to force some really bad shots. The last 4 or 5 shots by Sierra Canyon have been really not high percentage shots, and that's to Centennial's credit. And then they were able to finish at the other end, to see the ball go through the basket. And you can see the look in the eye of the Husky defenders. A little bit, they've got a little more aggression in their eye.
Austin will back it up. 2 minutes to play, opening half. 7 on the shot clock. Frank for 3.
Wow. That is so demoralizing. They played excellent defense all the way through the shot clock, and then Frank rises up and hits a wing 3, and it's almost like a giant exhale from the Husky faithful behind us.
Clark goes one-on-one against Simpson. Wild shot. That was first put up by Clark. They get the ball back and put it in nicely. Dennis Cash.
Hard-working guy on the post, playing against guys that are longer, and it took him 2 tries, but perseverance for Cash gets him a basket.
Minute 5 to play. Opening half at Calabasas.
A stop here and a 3, and it's only 15, and it has been a lot worse.
Frank, who just hit the triple. Into a crowd. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Sierra Canyon.
Oh, that's a tough break for the Huskies. They once again forced Frank into a slightly difficult fadeaway shot, and then the tip was off the hands of Davis. And we're going to get his timeout here with under a minute to go here in the half.
42-24. Sierra Canyon, like Corona Centennial, looking for its 27th win of the year. As you look at that Corona Centennial, hell, you know, they've had some great wins this year. They're the only team to beat Fairfax, and Fairfax could be in our 223 game, the LA City Section Championship.
No doubt about that, but of course tomorrow night we've got a really good one out of Division I with all the concentration in the open division. Division I has had some magnificent games throughout the entire bracket, and we've got a really good one. Santa Margarita at Harvard Westlake. Johnny Juzang, Jake Kyman, Max Ogbong Polo, Mason Hooks. Talent on both sides of the floor, should be fun to watch. Then the LA City section final, which most people believe will be Fairfax and Westchester. And then we get into the Big West, where you'll have Cal State Northridge and UC Irvine.
Tonight's game is presented by the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. Travel by train to top SoCal destinations, including San Diego, Santa Barbara, and much more. Plan your trip at PacificSurfliner.com.
Some more updates on scores in the other pool, where you've got Bishop Montgomery with a 54-43 lead over Etiwanda at the end of 3. And then Rancho Christian has come back to take the lead over Rancho Verde, 44-37 at the end of 3. I'll explain what that all means at halftime.
A steal. Dawson all the way. Draws the foul. It'll be a 2-shot infraction. And again, you see the speed of this Corona Centennial team. You can see how they can be destructive.
Well, and if they are able to just get stops on the defensive end, they're good enough to score in bunches. There you see Dawson going strong to the hoop, landed awkwardly on his left leg. But he's going to go to line and shoot a pair, and that'll cut it to 16. Once again, if they get a stop and another basket, could be 13 or 14 as badly as they've played.
Terrific foul shooter at 85%, one of the team leaders. And again, the ball just not going through for the Huskies. They're 26-4. They did go 10-0 in the Big 8, undefeated league champions, but they have expectations. They want to win this one and get to the CIF Southern Section Ford Boys Championship game in the Open Division. 42-25. It's been all Sierra Canyon. Final half minute of the opening half.
4-second difference between shot and game clock.
Stanley and Bailey playing catch on the perimeter. Cash is going to work, but he fell down. And Bailey lost it out of bounds.
Pressure defense from the Huskies forced Stanley to lose his footing, turn it over. Here's a chance for the Huskies. A 3 here, and it's a 14-point game. Sierra Canyon going to make them work for it by putting on some full court pressure.
I can't remember Corona Centennial making a 3 in this half. I don't think they have.
Well, that's a great point. The long ball, which I thought they had to make somewhere between 12 to 15 of them in order to keep up with the offensive excellence of Sierra Canyon. And if they haven't made one yet, wow, that has a lot to do with why they're down 17. a 3 here to end the half. We got a clock problem at the moment. It shows 1 minute and 25 seconds when really it should be 12 seconds, maybe 12 and a half. But they're dealing with the clock situation, and so we'll get a little momentary break here. But if you're Andre Chevalier, you've got to be happy with the first 12 minutes of this first half. They played almost flawlessly, but the last 4 minutes, bad shots, a little bit loose with the basketball. That'll give him something to keep the Trailblazers from getting too big of a head in the locker room. They have dominated play, but it's gotten a little sloppy in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Ken Bassett is our lead official. He's working with John Reed and Ruben Gonzalez tonight, and it is Ken Bassett that's working at the scorer's table trying to get the clock rectified. ACC basketball tomorrow on KDOC.
Getting serious now as I think the ACC realizes that they probably get 8, and so those teams in the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slots know they've got to get some quality wins. North Carolina on the road against Wake Forest, and Notre Dame goes on the road to take on Virginia. Virginia just got through a murderous part. North Carolina back-to-back. But that's tomorrow, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. on KDOC. Best conference in the country year after year, the ACC.
Cavaliers will play great defense and controlled tempo. Well, they have it fixed. 12.5 seconds to be exact on the clock. Pippen and the Trailblazers go out there on defense, and we'll see if the Huskies can get a basket before the break. Dawson, an air ball, and the half is over. Well, a thoroughly forgettable first half for the Huskies. But for Sierra Canyon, for Kenyon Martin, better known as KJ Martin, they were brilliant. They're up 17 at intermission.
It's back. It's bigger and it's better. The President's Day Sell-a-thon is back at your California Ford dealers. It's bigger. Lease Escape with only $999 down and $219 per month. It's better than ever, but hurry, it all ends soon.
Blue shirt, yellow shirt. I guess life comes down to a couple moments, and you are in every single one of them. I want to feel alive, want you by my side. Take me back to where we were. I'll be a passenger.
Dignity Health Los Angeles Hospitals.
We just made the stress of your commute disappear. Introducing the all-new, impossibly smart Nissan Altima with Pro Pilot Assist. It's groundbreaking tech that takes the stress out of heavy highway traffic by helping you stop and start without touching a pedal. Experience Altima at your local Nissan store.
For a limited time, get a low $239 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
Book your family vacation today at Legoland.com and go behind the scenes at the Lego Movie 2 experience, only at Legoland California Resort.
Your California Ford dealers' President's Day Sell-a-thon is back, bigger and better. Get 0 for 60 plus $3,000 on F-150, plus an extra $1,000 when you trade. The President's Day Sell-a-thon is back, but hurry, it all ends soon.
When you hear the word sizzler, do you think steak or shrimp? Perhaps you think both, as in steak and shrimp scampi. Or how about that steak and honey sriracha shrimp starting at $11.99? Yeah, when you hear steak, shrimp, and $11.99, you want sizzler.
On the Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week, the Santa Margarita Eagles face off against Harvard Westlake Wolverines in the CIF Southern Section Division I semifinal. The winner moves on to the Division I championship game. Tune in tomorrow at 7:30 on KDOC TV Los Angeles.
At the break, it's been all Sierra Canyon, 42-25. The winner here goes to the CIF Open Division Ford Boys Championship game. Great highlights in the first half. And how about that monster jam by Martin?
Just too much open court activity for Sierra Canyon. And then when you've got the big guys making threes like KJ Martin and Cassius Stanley, it's been really tough for Centennial to get quality looks. And when you've got Coloco beating everybody down the floor at 7 feet, that is not a good sign. Centennial began to finally calm down a little bit, make some baskets, actually won the second quarter, but they had fallen so far behind. Part of the reason Cassius Stanley and company lighten it up from 3, and when they didn't, Martin and Bailey were there to clean it up.
Well, highlights here, all Sierra Canyon, is Frank able to drive at a triple from downtown, but we have some scores from around the southern section, and to me, some surprises here.
Well, in that particular pool, Pool A, all 4 teams had a chance to advance depending on what happened. Now, what we have at the moment, anyway, is Rancho Christian leading Rancho Verde by 7, and Bishop Montgomery on the road beating Etiwanda by 9, but those games still very much in doubt. But if it holds up the way it is on the screen, Bishop Montgomery would advance to the final by virtue of their win over Rancho Christian. So we'll keep you posted on those games, but literally every team in that pool has a chance. Rancho Verde and Rancho Christian, 2 great defensive teams, and then Etiwanda and Bishop Montgomery. Bishop Montgomery, the 8th seed, that would be the story. If Bishop Montgomery, the 8th seed in that pool, if they are the team that advances, what a coaching job by Doug Mitchell, who just achieved his 700th career victory just a few games ago. Congratulations to one of the best coaches in Southern California.
Yeah, he's done it for a long time, and Doug Mitchell has done it brilliantly. At the break, it's 42-25. Top-seeded Sierra Canyon with a big advantage over Corona Centennial. Can the Huskies rally back? We'll see.
President's Day, there's big news at Nissan now. No brand received more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan. That means that people love their new Nissans. So we're thanking you with big savings on our lineup, including Rogue with Pro Pilot Assist.
Get a low $239 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 14 models.
Get to Nissan now, before these offers are yesterday's news.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
Right now at Wiener Schnitzel, you can mix and match 5 chili dogs or corn dogs for only $5.95. Wiener Schnitzel, food worth cheering for.
Jeep Grand Cherokee didn't get to be the most awarded SUV ever without luxurious craftsmanship, fuel efficiency, legendary capability, or innovative technology. That's why more people are joining the Jeep family than any other brand. Well-qualified returning Grand Cherokee lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Jeep Grand Cherokee for $199 a month.
I am Costanza, Lord of the Idiots.
Who are you, George Costanza?
Forgot who I am. Who am I? I'm the bad boy. My name's Buck Naked. I'm a porno writer. Art Vanderlei. People are always saying to me, you know, you're quite a character.
I'm really sorry.
I was in the pool!
Seinfeld, tonight at 11 on KDOC TV, Los Angeles.
And our halftime stats are brought to you by Nissan. And there is an eye-popping number. KJ Martin's 16 points.
Yeah, he's been brilliant in all aspects of the game, both offense and defense, but he has been impossible to keep off the offensive glass. A number of those 16 points came on second chance opportunities where he just finished around the rim. But a couple things to note for Centennial: Jalen Clark, DJ Davis, and Paris Dawson, that's their three big scorers, and I honestly thought that they would need 60 points combined from those three in order to compete tonight against Sierra Canyon. Well, they have 17, so they're nowhere near the 30 that I would have thought they would have needed in order to get halfway to 60. But Sierra Canyon, you've got Frank, Stanley, and Martin all have made threes. Now we say, well, so what? Well, if they make them from outside, then you have to guard them, which creates space in that area underneath the basket for them to penetrate and drive for dunks and to offensive rebound and slam it home. If they're making them from outside, you can't guard Sierra Canyon.
Well, tomorrow we got a beauty in D1, the semifinals, 7:30 right here on KDOC. Harvard Westlake, the Wolverines, Santa Margarita, the Eagles, both teams with 21 victories. This should be a titanic battle at Harvard Westlake.
Yeah, the two teams playing their best basketball at just the right time. It's alternately been really, really good, and then some nights inexplicably bad. So if Santa Margarita brings their A-plus game, as I expect that they will, Harvard Westlake has been playing outstanding basketball the second half of the season since they got all of their guys back.
Jake Kyman is a big-time recruit on his way to UCLA, plays for Santa Margarita. He's coming off the playoff game where he pumped in 6 threes and 30 points. Well, the skies weren't quite like that when we came in. It was raining. Now it looks gorgeous out there. It's 42-25. It is gorgeous for Sierra Canyon at the break.
Now through President's Day, get an incredible $1,500 cash back on a new Tacoma, or get $500 bonus cash when you lease one for just $259 a month. But hurry, these offers end soon. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places.
Right now at Wiener Schnitzel, you can mix and match 5 chili dogs or corn dogs for only $5.95. Wiener Schnitzel, food worth cheering for.
You can turn left. You can turn right. Or if you're behind the wheel of the all-new BMW X5, you can decide not to turn at all. Unless you absolutely have to. The all-new BMW X5. Confidence doesn't take detours. Hurry in to receive exceptional offers on the all-new 2019 BMW X5.
Real members are saving real money on auto insurance through the Auto Club.
I was pretty shocked to find out that I was going to save $400. I thought that it was going to be much more expensive.
When you're trying to raise a family of 5, and in this economy, it's really nice to be able to save.
I would pay more for this level of customer service, but with AAA, I don't have to.
They told me what the price was going to be, and I told them to go back and recheck because I could not believe it.
Believe it. Switch your auto insurance and you could save an average of $447. That could be hundreds better than Geico, State Farm, even Allstate. And that's just the start.
I have my house insurance, I have my car insurance. It was a no-brainer for me to go with AAA.
Belong to an alumni association? Insure both your auto and home? You could save even more. Plus, get a $100 travel certificate when you switch. Best of all, get the service we're famous for and peace of mind.
I'm glad I switched. What are you waiting for?
Call 800-604-8097 for your free quote. The Auto Club. So easy, so smart, so switch.
Hey, California, no reasonable offer refused. If you don't buy your next RV from the Dennis Dillon team at DDRV.com, they guarantee you'll pay too much. 50 brands, 1,000 RVs and trailers, all at DDRV.com in Westminster.
Now through President's Day, get an incredible $1,500 cash back on a new Tacoma, or get $500 bonus cash when you lease one for just $259 a month. But hurry, these offers end soon. We make it easy. Toyota. Let's go places.
The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Nobody does dogs like Wiener Schnitzel. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Nice crowd on hand at Calabasas. They've been shown a wonderful showcase of dunking and shooting expertise by the team in white, who has the ball to begin the third quarter, the Sierra Canyon Trailblazers. We'll see if Corona Centennial out of the locker room can make a run. Coloco with the jam, Pippen with the dime.
Well, it would seem as if Andre Chevalier knew that the Huskies were going to come out in an aggressive 2-3 zone, and they went diagonal over the top to Coloco with the finish.
Beautiful jumper from Alan McBride. He averages 10 points. Guy with a high basketball IQ, and it's nice to see a shot go down for the Huskies. 5 dunks in this basketball game for Sierra Canyon.
And a number of them coming on second chance opportunities. But that's the kind of steal that Centennial lives on. And maybe they can turn over the Trailblazers a little more often than they did in the first half. Perhaps get themselves a little more easier shots than they could against the long arms of Sierra Canyon in the first half. They challenged every outside shot. There were very few clean looks for the Huskies in the first half.
Davis around Pippen, and Coloco cleans up and took it out of the air.
Can't show him the ball like that.
Stanley dropped it, but it came off to Terran Frank, who raises up. And another dunk for Martin. KJ Martin. I mean, he's soaring above the rim.
But Coloco made the play by keeping it alive with the first tip. That allowed Martin to come weak side. Nobody home. Easy slam for KJ.
KJ with 18 on the night. Trailblazers by 19. Clark setting it up on top. Goes to the wing. Who's Dawson? Davis. His 3-ball not close. Martin's outlet is to Pippen. Pippen wanted Stanley, and he was fouled. Getting him with the body was Paris Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson saw what was coming. Once the outlet pass is made to Pippen, Dawson knows that Stanley's ahead of the pack, and he's going to have a highlight dunk. So he got underneath him a little bit, and actually turns out to be a very good play because it is a non-shooting foul.
Pippen with the penetration, and Martin draws the foul, and everybody in the house could have called that one by number 21, Alan McBride.
But I'm glad to see that McBride, much to my surprise, was able to somehow regain his footing. He could have landed really hard there after flying on the back of Martin.
Martin.
That's a held
went
ball.
Up, and he's tied up. Give the ball to Corona Centennial.
Since about the 4-minute mark of the second quarter, the Huskies defense has just had a little more edge, a little more teeth to it. And that time, Martin showed the defender the ball, and he got a held ball situation possession arrow in favor of Centennial.
That defender was Paris Dawson, who made a terrific play. Clark can't finish. Martin with another rebound. Stanley to Pippen. Pippen to Coloco. The ball movement is splendid for Sierra Canyon.
Pippen has such a high basketball IQ, saw the play happening before it even got into his hands.
Finally a 3-ball for Paris Dawson and the Huskies. That's what they need to drop, the long range shots. And a takeaway. It was Dawson that forced it. Davis fouled. And that time, Corona Centennial beat Sierra Canyon down the floor.
Yeah, and they're really good at this, turning you over and then getting down the floor en masse. That was 3-0 until Martin hustling all the way. I mean, it's an 18-point game, and yet KJ Martin was not going to give Davis an easy 2. Hustled down there, committed the foul, make him earn him from the line.
Davis is a big-time scorer, number 4 for the Huskies. Over 1,400 points in his career. And normally he is a knockdown shooter at the free throw line. 87%.
You got to give Scottie Pippen's defense some credit for keeping Davis under wraps here in this ball game, because DJ shoots it from, mentioned LaMelo Ball earlier in the broadcast. I've seen Davis shoot it from 27, 28 feet with just a flick of the wrist, and he hasn't been able to even do that tonight because of the tenacious defense of number 2 for Sierra Canyon.
Coloco finds Pippen. Looking low for Stanley. Posting up. Frank. In and out. Trailblazers pounding the glass.
Boy, they have so many offensive rebounds in this game.
Stanley, that's a great move to the cup and a wonderful finish.
Yeah, next level move for Cassius. Goes strong with the right hand, got a sliver of space, and then knew there was going to be contact, but he was able to absorb that contact and still shoot it softly off the glass. That's what makes him so wanted by Kansas, Oregon, and UCLA, his final three.
Clark's jumper won't get there. Trailblazers looking to push it. Tipped away. Another takeaway by Corona Centennial. There's the long one from DJ Davis.
They didn't stay attached that time, and he has as quick a trigger as anybody in the southern section.
They're within 15. Start knocking down the three ball. You can come back in. Pippen leaning in and scoring. So many weapons for Sierra Canyon.
And what a money play by Pippen. He's a pass-first point guard, but he realized that time that his team needed a basket to kind of stem the tide a little bit. Nice up fake. Got himself a mid-range opportunity.
Beautiful block by Stanley on Paris Dawson. We're inside of 4 minutes to play. Third quarter, the dunks continue for the Trailblazers, and they have a handsome lead of 17.
Just made the stress of your commute disappear. Introducing the all-new, impossibly smart Nissan Altima with Pro Pilot Assist. It's groundbreaking tech that takes the stress out of heavy highway traffic by helping you stop and start without touching a pedal. Experience Altima at your local Nissan store.
For a limited time, get a low $239 per month lease on the 2019 Nissan Altima.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
I work hard and I want my money to work hard too. So I use my Freedom Unlimited card. Even when I'm spending, I'm earning 1.5% cash back on everything I buy. Earn on my favorite soup. Got it. Earning on Daddy Clear. Don't touch it, don't touch it yet. Let me get the big one. Nope. This one? Nope. This one? No. Let me get them all. I'm gonna get them all. It's just the basics. Can you double bag this right here? Earn 1.5% cash back on everything you buy with Freedom Unlimited. Can you also tell me what it is? Chase, make more of what's yours.
More great action tomorrow night, 7:30 on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC. Santa Margarita, the Eagles with 3 Division I players. Lee, their center's going to BYU. Agbonk Polo's going to USC, and Kyman to UCLA. But Harvard Westlake, they have some talent as well.
Well, Johnny Juzang is going to be one of the most highly recruited players in next year's class, and Mason Hooks is one of the better traditional big men that I've seen this year. So that should be a beauty tomorrow night.
There's Kenyon Martin. He's been very relaxed, and his son has been great. All right, let's see if Corona Centennial can get busy offensively. They improved here in the last couple quarters. Remember, they fell way behind in the first quarter. Jump shot fails by Davis. Amari Bailey was thinking about slashing to the goal, but Dawson did a nice job getting back defensively.
I would guess Andre Chevalier told Sierra Canyon, run a little clock, get everybody involved, don't have the ball stick.
Long range shot by Austin, no good, but a second opportunity for Pippen, who finds Martin, and a soft dunk. Well, I said on the pregame he'll get at least 3 or 4 dunks. He's right about there.
Oh, and then some.
Well, that's a smooth-looking J for DJ Davis. This DJ plays some beautiful string music.
Oh, I like that. He's finally feeling comfortable out there with his shot. He's made 2 of his last 3.
Really not close. I'm looking for a Kardashian in attendance. This is the Kardashians' territory, isn't it? That one's a long-range shot from Dawson that's straight out of bounds.
And there are people who might say, gosh, that was a terrible shot, but that is the way that Centennial plays. Clark, Davis, and Dawson have the green light. That it was a clean look, little jump stop, and he just didn't knock it down.
You're not going to have a remark on what I said about a Kardashian perhaps in attendance?
Well, I'll just let that one lay there.
Well, they had family members that went to Sierra Canyon. There's a shot up by Martin, and there's a foul. KJ Martin has been as good as anybody on the floor tonight.
his ability to move without the basketball, he presents the passer with excellent angles and a chance to enter the ball into the post. He's very good coming from the weak side. On that previous basket, you saw KJ get the offensive rebound, but instead of putting it up in traffic, he dished it outside to Pippen, who with a one-bounce dribble got it right back to KJ for the flush. Those two guys work so well together.
Second foul on Paris Dawson. Have you been able to figure out if Martin is a righty or a lefty? We know he's ambidextrous.
What I just am so impressed with every time, and we've seen Sierra Canyon quite a bit this year, he's better at the things that were not part of his game last year. He's always been a dynamic offensive player, but I'll tell you, he's been terrific at the little things this year.
Derek Fisher looking on, former Laker point guard.
Well, and of course his nephew Dwayne Washington was part of last year's state championship team. Dwayne now at Ohio State.
Davis rattles in a triple. From way downtown, DJ Davis.
Well, you see what he's capable of. He's the kind of guy who can get you 15 to 20 points in a quarter because he can make 5 or 6 in a row, a lot of them from distance.
Huskies need some defensive stops. They're within 16. They've been held at bay. They're trying to turn over the Trailblazers. Pippen a settling force on the wing.
Plenty of time on the shot clock, and Pippen knows it.
Well, he was able to weave through traffic and make things happen. Scottie Pippen Jr.
Wow, this is a tough call here because he sort of initiates the contact. It looked to me like the Husky defender went straight up, but the officials saw it a different way. And very late in the shot clock, Pippen creates a 2-shot opportunity.
The Vanderbilt commit has 2. He's going to play for the Commodores. Well, with 1:44 left in the third, if you're Corona Centennial, you're thinking 10. Can you get within 10?
Exactly right. There's a number of possessions left here in this third quarter. If Centennial can go on a, 8-2 run, that type of a thing here in the last 104 seconds, things might get a little bit interesting in the fourth.
With that in mind, Cassius Stanley coming back in for Pippen. There's Andre Chevalier, former great guard in his own right at Cal State Northridge.
Yes. When he left school, he was the all-time leading scorer.
Inside, an easy one, and a throwdown for Alan McBride.
Beautiful high ball screen and then rolled the hoop by the 4.2 GPA Alan McBride, and he can finish. And now they need a stop.
Sure, Josh Giles would like to have that first quarter over again. That's really the difference in the game. Simpson backs it up.
Let's see how crisp the Sierra Canyon offense is run with Pippen on the bench.
Stanley double teamed. Stanley didn't take the 3, got away with a walk, missed the shot, and Davis rebounds. Davis for 3, yes! Here come the Huskies. Their fans are into it.
And he is money from 25 to 28 feet. I've seen him do that for 3 years now, and the Huskies are right back in this game at 57-45. Holy cow.
Inside of a minute to play in the quarter, the Huskies starting to hit triples.
Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Yeah, I've seen a lot out here in the West. But a juicy charbroiled burger with a patty made from plants? Only the folks at Carl's Jr. can pull out something that bold. All the legendary flavor, none of the meat. When the wagon of change comes, you ride along with it. The new Beyond Famous Star with cheese, only at Carl's Jr., where the food is the star.
Right here, Dad.
The Infiniti QX60. Impressive performance and seating for 7.
Infiniti, empower the drive.
The lead's been reduced to 12 at Calabasas High School, neutral court affair. You knew the Huskies were too good to be silent all night.
Pippen back in, so they get a little better possession this time.
Pippen hits the three. Well, that's a big momentum breaker. Corona Centennial had built momentum. Now with 30 seconds left in the third, they're back by 15 once again.
And last year, I'm not sure if he takes that shot, but this year he is so confident with that catch and shoot three ball, and that is a huge basket. Otherwise, with a stop, Centennial has a chance to get this thing into single digits, but now it's back to 15 and they need to score at the end of the quarter.
Davis wants the rock, gives it back. McBride inside is rejected by Martin. KJ Martin's been cleaning up everything.
Well, and it's so hard to go against multiple defenders who are so long. Watch the good screen roll again, but that time after McBride was able to get past Coloco, who's waiting for him? But KJ.
Final 5 seconds of the quarter. Davis for three. Wouldn't have counted had it have gone for Pippen. We're through three. Sierra Canyon still has the 15-point lead, but DJ hitting threes. Pippen, though, is countered with some nice dishes to Martin. But Davis and company still have 8 minutes to play.
Greetings, students. I'm a helpful Honda bot, and I've been informed that you are in need of equipment to compete in your robotics tournament. Come check out your gear. Today we help some humans build robots, and we can help you too with a great deal on a reliable award-winning Honda. Right now, you can lease a 2019 Civic LX for just $199 a month plus tax. And humans buy Civics more than any other car in California. Are you going to win your competition this year?
Can you believe it? Our new store in Ontario is finally open. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Exit right ahead.
Me too. Grand opening celebration. Come celebrate the grand opening of our new Ontario store with entertainment and treats for the whole family. All President's Day weekend long at any of our 110 locations coast to coast. Plus untouchable furniture values on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. Are you as excited as I am?
Recalculating.
Me too. Can hardly wait.
Bob's Discount Furniture.
Now open in Ontario.
Well, in the other half of the Open Division, we have determined who is going to the Open Division final. Rancho Christian holds on to beat Rancho Verde 54-51, but on the other side, the Bishop Montgomery Knights get a road win over the Etiwanda Eagles. So by virtue of Bishop Montgomery beating Rancho Christian in round one of pool play, they have the head-to-head winner. It is the Bishop Montgomery Knights who are going to the Open Division final. What a tremendous accomplishment for the 8th seed in that side of the pool play. It's Bishop Montgomery who needed help from Rancho Christian and got it, but Doug Mitchell's Knights are going to the final.
His 701st career victory, and I would imagine that one is sweet as any of them. Inside, another dunk for KJ Martin.
Excellent ball movement, excellent spacing by Sierra Canyon. That's really good coaching. They ran the play that Coach Chevalier wanted out of that between quarters timeout, and suddenly it was 57-45, and it looked like they had some life.
Davis from Steph Curry land.
And look where he shoots from. I'm telling you, that he has as good a range as anybody in Southern California.
He's a wonderful junior, and it's a junior class at Corona Centennial. They may not come back and win this, but they're going to be terrific again next year.
One possession at a time. Oh, he bounced. Yeah, that's a great call by Ruben Gonzalez. Is all over that. Cassius Stanley recovered the ball, but then his bounce pass hits on the opposite side of the court. That's over and back, and the Husky defense gets the turnover that they need.
You know, one thing about this Corona Centennial bunch, they won't go away. They play hard. That's their mentality. And they can come back from 14 down the way they knocked down those threes. They didn't have them in the first half. They're falling in the second half. They're trying to overcome a 27-9 first quarter deficit, and there's the walk on Paris Dawson.
Oh, that's a crusher. They had a really good play. Dawson came off a screen and he had space. I thought he was just going to rise up and shoot that thing. Instead, shuffled his feet and back-to-back turnovers does not help the Huskies' cause.
Yeah, if the Huskies are going to win it, Professor, they're going to almost have to be flawless down the
Yeah,
stretch.
they just can't afford empty possessions like that. But still time, one possession at a time if you're Centennial.
Pippen creating. And a knockdown. And Pippen able to draw the foul. Infraction against Cortland Moffitt.
That's a tough one because the ball was loose, and you'd think in a 50-50 ball situations the refs would let him play a little bit. But Andre Chevalier says that's the way I saw it from over here.
I want to see Andre Chevalier in a one-on-one against Josh Giles. He was a great player as well in his day, Giles. And another one, Pippen inside three. How many times have we seen tonight the Trailblazers be open underneath the basket?
Well, their execution on inbound plays has been superb tonight.
McBride knifing in, and another block by Martin. Here come the Trailblazers. Stanley, a solo fast break, and he drew the foul. Went against number 4, which is DJ Davis.
That's why Cassius is so difficult to stop in the open court. Once the floor opens up, because he changes direction absolutely flawlessly. There you see a little crossover, and there was no chance to take a charge there because the defender had to slide over when Stanley did, and Cassius gets himself a 2-shot opportunity.
Cassius has started his high school career at Harvard Westlake,
Yes.
and will be there tomorrow night. I'm sure they'd like to have him in
Oh my goodness.
the house tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
How good would they be if he stayed?
Oh my gosh.
Well, he left, and that was to the benefit of Sierra Canyon. Back the other way is Paris Dawson. .540 remains. With the Professor Paul Westfall, I'm Randy Rosenbloom. Thrilled you're with us. Calabasas High School. There's a shot that's up and in for Clark, and one.
He has had such tough luck tonight on those one-on-one drives where watch as he absorbs the contact and kisses it off the glass so softly. He's had at least 3 or 4 of those that have just rimmed out. This time he finally gets one to go and a chance for a 3-point play. And once again, Centennial on the verge of getting this back to a, 9, 10, 11-point deficit, which would make the last 4 minutes really interesting, but they need some stops.
It is cut to 14. You get the feeling this Trailblazer team can almost turn it on when they want to. Frank didn't travel. Koloko scores.
The crowd behind us saw that the way I did. I thought his foot slid, that pivot foot, but it didn't get called, and he's able to dump it off to Koloko from close range.
Clark, the 6'5 junior guard. Clark's a junior, Davis is a junior, Dawson is a junior. So it is a young squad. And here come the Trailblazers after they get the defensive stop, and they're certainly in great condition to run 4 quarters, get up and down the floor, and close out this game. They just go, go, go.
And that depth really helps also.
And one for Taryn Frank, scissoring on the baseline.
Missed most of the season with a meniscus injury, did Taryn Frank, and when he came back into the lineup, the first game was against Rancho Christian, but you knew that there was a little bit of rust that was going to be knocked off with just more minutes, and he's been terrific tonight. This is the best I've seen Taryn play this season.
We had 8 teams with 2 different pools, and it looks like Sierra Canyon, if they can hold on to any part of this 18-point lead, will be the only school of the 8 to go through undefeated. They'd be 3-0.
Southern Section has to be ecstatic the way this pool play concept has worked out. It has been really exciting. Every game has been meaningful.
Well, the 3-year starter, Jalen Clark, that one didn't fall for him. Every year he's scored in double figures in his career, but tonight they just haven't been able to slow down this Trailblazer team. It came out and again outscored the Huskies 27-9 on the opening quarter, and they haven't looked back. We're at the midway stage of the final stanza. There's an offensive foul on the big fella Koloko for an illegal pick. We're inside of 4 minutes to play. It's going to be tough for this Husky team, especially the way Martin and company have played tonight.
President's Day, there's big news at Nissan now. No brand received more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan. That means that people love their new Nissans. So we're thanking you with big savings on our lineup, including Rogue with Pro Pilot Assist.
Get a low $239 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 60 months on 14 models.
Get to Nissan now, before these offers are yesterday's news.
Hug the coast on the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner and embrace the journey to Southern California's top destinations. Cruise by sparkling beaches and rolling hills as you travel to renowned wine countries, beloved surf cities, and vibrant downtowns. Let us take you to SoCal's most inviting and inspired communities. Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com and come hug the coast with us.
When was the last time you enjoyed a scenic trip along the coast without traffic? Take the Pacific Surfliner and enjoy onboard amenities and a comfortable ride. Check out PacificSurfliner.com.
Well, Sierra Canyon looking as good as advertised. I think tonight they've played about 2/3 of their A game. They had a little stretch at the end of the second quarter and a little bit in the beginning of the third quarter where they allowed Centennial to exert their will on the contest as Kenyon Martin looks on. But once they kind of weathered that punch, they got within, I think the closest they got maybe was a dozen. Some terrific coaching by Andre Chevalier that got them back focused on how to attack that Centennial defense.
Davis too strong with that one, and a run out for Pippen. Finds Martin and a monster dunk. He's above his limit, and he's had about 6 or 7 of them.
But Pippen makes the play with that wonderful court vision. He took a look behind him about the three-point line, and he saw who was coming, so he took it all the way into the paint, knowing that Martin was behind him. Watch, see that little look there? And then the high-flying K.J. Martin for the finish.
Is there any more spectacular dunker in prep basketball than K.J. Martin?
Well, there's a lot of them, but he is certainly a money guy filling that lane. I tell you, he hasn't missed one tonight. When we get a 5-second call, and an excellent job by K.J. Martin and Pippen. I tell you, they work so well together. But K.J., little run and jump defense on the dribbler, creates the 5-second count, and the Huskies just can't afford any empty trips like that.
Look at the passing, the ball movement. Frank comes up short, and it's kept alive. It's last touch by the Trailblazers. It's a comfortable feeling. Sierra Canyon on the brink of winning as Derek Fisher looks on, winning this pool, and it looks very much like it's the Trailblazers and Bishop Montgomery in the finals.
Who would have thought that when it all started? I'm sure a lot of us didn't really know how good Bishop Montgomery could be because they didn't have all their guys all season long, and they hadn't played as tough a schedule as they usually did. But come tournament time, Doug Mitchell's Knights were ready for everything, and that opening round victory over Rancho Christian proved to be devastating to Ray Barefield's squad. They just couldn't overcome that first round loss.
That's a great backcourt that Bishop Montgomery has, led by Gianni Hunt, who can really fill it up. Tremendous player. So they'll be waiting. It looks like they're going to be waiting for Sierra Canyon. Will be the favorite, the Trailblazers. There's no question that Andre Chevalier's got a great club. There's a quick timeout taken by Chevalier. He didn't like the spacing. He didn't like the look.
No. Yeah, up 20, under 3 to play, but he's coaching like it's a tie game, and you would expect nothing less from Andre Chevalier, who, as you mentioned, a tremendous player at first Cleveland High School. And
where he later coached.
Yeah, and then Cal State Northridge. Of course, tomorrow we've got more college basketball for you on KDOC. It's the best conference in the country year after year. It's the ACC on KDOC, and at 9 o'clock it'll be number 8 North Carolina traveling to Wake Forest. North Carolina got a little wake-up call from Miami last week on our Game of the Week on KDOC. Let's see if Wake Forest can punch the Tar Heels in the nose at 9 a.m. And then at 11 it'll be Notre Dame traveling to Charlottesville to take on Virginia. That Virginia team always difficult to score against. and Notre Dame's got their work cut out for them, but Mike Bray's team plays hard and they play smart, and that'll be your game at 11 o'clock.
Well, Corona Centennial's going to go out. They're going to lose here tonight. They're down 20 with under 3 minutes to play. But again, Jalen Clark, 6'5" junior guard. DJ Davis, 6-foot junior guard. Paris Dawson, 6-foot junior guard. McBride's a senior. Cash, however, is also a junior. So they'll return 4 starters. So when you're penciling in your top teams in SoCal next year, remember Corona Centennial.
Well, and none of these teams are done. I mean, all of the open division is going to be invited to the CIF state competition, and we'll have to see where seedings, et cetera, put the Centennial Huskies. But they've still got some basketball to play regardless of how this one comes out tonight. But I like the way that they battled back after falling behind by over 20 points in the first half. They played hard all night long, and they just didn't get enough shots to fall. Sierra Canyon on their way to somewhere close to 80 points tonight.
Yeah, they couldn't overcome the 27-9 throttling that was put on them by Cassius Stanley and the Trailblazers. Here's a defensive stop, and quickly up the floor comes Paris Dawson. Dawson from the side hits.
Full court pressure. Oh, I think they tried to foul there, and the refs didn't call it. So it'll be out of bounds to Sierra Canyon. But at this point now, they almost have to play the foul game a little bit longer than you would normally do it and see if Sierra Canyon can make free throws.
Very comfortable are the Trailblazers, and they have Pippen out on top to run the show. 2 minutes to play.
His stoic demeanor, his court presence, his basketball IQ, all the things that make Scottie Pippen Jr. a special talent on his way to Vanderbilt, which I think is a perfect fit for him. And he's just going to get better and better and better.
Bailey with the reverse. Beautiful rebound from Dennis Cash. Pippen with the block, but he fouled Jalen Clark.
Clark slicing through the defense. Pippen not going to let him have an easy one to whacks him on the wrist, and so he'll have to earn him at the line.
Well, when Corona Centennial did get a victory in pool play over St. John Bosco, this young man, Jalen Clark, had 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in that victory. So he can get it done.
Oh, gosh, I think he's going to be a wonderful get for someone at the next level because of his ability to play multiple positions. He's got a good enough handle to play occasional point guard. He's obviously built to play the 2, but I think against certain teams that go small, he could even play small forward. He is one of those guys that's good at everything, and the next level has already taken notice.
Josh Giles again in his 16th year, and he had a very productive career at Glendora himself before getting into coaching. He was a great scorer at Concordia College in Irvine.
Yeah, no question about it. He left Concordia. He's since been passed by a few guys, but when he left Concordia, he was the leading scorer, the leading three-point shooter, the leading assist guy. Josh was terrific. But tomorrow night, we have another outstanding contest. It's the semifinals of Division I, and that man, Jake Kyman, will lead the Santa Margarita Eagles against Johnny Juzang and the Harvard Westlake Wolverines. We'll have it tomorrow at 7:30 on KDOC.
Kyman averages 22 a game, Juzang 23. That's going to be a shootout in Studio City. Although, I'm never sure about that. I'll look at different addresses for Harvard Westlake. Some of them say Studio City, others say North Hollywood. Somebody's got to claim the grounds on which Harvard Westlake is stationed.
Which one increases the property value?
Studio City.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Although now they call North Hollywood Valley Village.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Well, we didn't see a Kardashian tonight, but we saw a star-studded field from Sierra Canyon that played on the floor. They were brilliant, and they'll play keep away here. Get a foul on the Huskies. 71-55. It's been the third game we've seen Sierra Canyon. They're going to go 2-1 on our air, to the dismay of Josh Giles. Well, I'm mightily impressed with the way they play above the rim and how they ran their offense and how hard Sierra Canyon played defensively tonight.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head right there. I mean, we've seen them now a number of times with their high-flying dunk ability and open court success, but I thought they won the game on the defensive end. Holding Centennial to 9 first-quarter points just sent a message that it wasn't going to be easy for the trio of Clark, Davis, and Dawson to get shots off, let alone make them. And that defensive intensity that basically told the tale for the rest of the game, because once you're up by 18, unless you have a total collapse for a quarter, it's going to be tough for another team to come back. But hats off to Josh Giles and Centennial, because they played hard for 32 minutes. They had a few moments in the second and third quarter when it looked like they might have been able to capture some of that Centennial magic where they make threes, turn you over, make some defensive to offensive transition baskets, but they just didn't have enough of a run tonight to get back once down 18.
The only thing in doubt is the final score. Clark misses, Coloco rebounds. Coloco transferred from Birmingham, and Birmingham still in the city tournament. Remember, everyone thinks it's going to be Fairfax and Westchester. Birmingham plays Westchester, and Washington prep against Fairfax tomorrow in the semis. Stanley trying to throw it down, and again we'll have the LA City section final on the 23rd.
Watch Alan McBride, though. He's not going to give him a highlight dunk, and McBride went up there and met him at the apex, bumped him with the body underneath, but Cassius was trying to put a little exclamation point on this, in essence, semifinal victory. Even though it's pool play, this was a winner-take-all scenario, and it'll be the Trailblazers that are advancing.
Wholesale changes, and finally Linsanity. Jeremy Lin wears number 13. Now, I mean, a guy who at times started for the Lakers coming off the Corona. No, this is a
That's how good they are.
That's how good
yes,
they are.
Yes,
I've been waiting for that line all night.
This is Jeremy Lin, the sophomore, but Coach Giles told me that he is a pure shooter, and had Sierra Canyon gone strictly zone defense, we might have seen Lynn earlier, but also changes for Sierra Canyon. High fives and hugs all over the Trailblazer bench. We've got Harold Yu, number 11, into the game. We've also got Jacob Miller, number 23 for Sierra Canyon. Also number 1, Tukey Wigington, the freshman.
Stanley. He knocks them both down, and he's going to come out.
Stanley gets a hand from everybody. He played, I think, one of his better all-around games tonight. He was solid throughout on both ends of the court.
Lynn casting off from deep. Well, they're coming in shooting these reserves, and that's Donovan Watkins. Coach is probably thinking I should have played Donovan earlier.
Well, another one of those underclassmen that you mentioned, Randy, that Centennial, although they're going to play in the state, Centennial is going to be loaded next year. They lose a couple, but most of this exciting team comes back next year after a little bit of run through the state tournament.
That won't get there with 7 seconds to play. Conrad Chevalier having some fun. He's got all the reserves. Walk-ons out there. It's an air ball by Aaron Parker, and the game is over. 75-58.
It'll be Sierra Canyon and Bishop Montgomery in the Open Division Final. Congrats to Sierra Canyon. This is as good as I've seen them play for about 3/4 of this game. They looked as awesome as their national ranking would indicate.
There's our game tomorrow night. Santa Margarita and Harvard Westlake. The winner goes on to the D1 final in the CIF Southern Section Championships. This has been the Pacific Surfliner presentation of the CIF Southern Section Boys Basketball Championships. For Paul Westfall and our entire David Otta production crew, I'm Randy Rosenman. The final again, Sierra Canyon 75, Corona Centennial 58. Good night from Calabasas.